It's time for Elo Lee Sin. And before I start, I gotta make mention of two things. Which one? This is like the first time I've played Lee Sin in like over 300 games or something. Which too, so I carry this game sort of through like game knowledge rather than mechanical skill, as Lee Sin I mean. And second, I've been battling a cold for the past week, so I'll be out of breath a few times throughout this video. Because it causes, the cough and the wheeze, but either way, it should be fine. Attack damage red, attack damage quince, armor yellow, magic resistance blue, scaling, 2190 masteries. So, the enemy is Rengar, and he started as blue, and I started on my red. First things first is I decide to invade him, because Lee Sin is really strong at early dueling, and Rengar is really terrible at clearing. Look at that, I already got here before he did. And I just, go up to him, start bashing him, and when he flashes, I kick him in the face. Pretty much easy kill, and I steal his buff, so now he's behind. And here, watch this with the Shen. I'll explain both situations soon. Shen, I asked him, just engage on Maokai now. Instead, he runs off in a weird pattern, and then engages on him. That was a really, really terrible engage. He should have engaged near the minions over there. Because at first, it would put his taunt on cooldown, so maybe he'd have it again before, the gank was fully over. Second, if Maokai chose to fight him around there, the minions would help him out a little bit, and Maokai would pretty much be out of position for quite a while. Third, if Maokai just began running, then he'd be taking pretty much free damage throughout the whole course as Shen stabbed at him. Because if, like, say, Maokai realized, oh, I must be getting ganked, then he'd know not to stay, he'd run, and Shen would just really get to stab him as he ran. It's just really, really lack of knowledge of the Shen, but after the game I actually found out he has more than 900 ranked games to played, so I can't really say it's because of inexperienced. Nonetheless, the Rengar thing, I really gotta explain that because it's one of the things I recommend lower level players do who feel they should be higher level, or higher division. If you know you are a stronger jungle duelist or a lot better at clearing, don't be afraid to invade the enemy jungler. It's better to invade with a red buff, of course, so start red and invade them in wherever you think they're going to go. If you can keep the enemy jungler down so hard, where to the point that they really can't fight anybody, and they can't contribute, then in a way, you can secure your team's victory just by, just pretty much by negating any assistance that they may get. It also lowers the enemy team's morale, knowing that their jungler is pretty much useless at this point. Look, Rengar is just barely level 5. He's about to reach level 6 soon, sure. But he's had no buffs right now. He's severely behind everybody else. So, even if he were to get a gank, he'd probably just die. Here, look at this Maokai part. The Maokai does one thing that he really shouldn't have done. He uses Twisted Advance on me for some reason, which puts him, back up on top of me. And I get to have a free hits on him and kill him. He might have probably still died anyways, but you don't do that. If you're trying to run away from someone, you don't use a gap closer, even if it has a CC attached to it, because it ends up negating the distance you had made before that. And this Shen had one of the worst teleports I've ever seen. And of course, that exhaust didn't help. Shen teleported and used his taunt as a gap closer rather than as actual, CC, and he did that twice. So it's pretty fucking sad. But either way, it's low elo. You can't expect much. So just look at what he did and kind of don't replicate that. What I'm trying to educate you right now is pretty much on how to completely decimate the enemy jungle and take control of the map. I'm not farming as much as I am killing people, and that's one way to win in lower divisions. And Lee Sin's one of them who can do that. I'm forcing pretty much Zed to go the direction I want him to because my teammates in bottom lane responded appropriately and trapped him. And we also get a Cassiopeia, which I didn't think we would get anyways. So, here's the thing, is Rengar, look, he can't contribute. I'm constantly putting pressure on him. I stole another buff. He flashed away. I missed my cue. And he's pretty much just, he just can't do anything. Look, his only item is Spirit Lizard Elder and a Ruby, well, no, that's not a Ruby Crystal, that's just a potion. Like, even if he went for a gank, it probably wouldn't be successful because he wouldn't be that strong. At this point, he needs to be carried. He's essentially been shut down, and what's worse is Rengar doesn't have that great of recovery. So, in a double lesson sort of thing, if you want to destroy a jungler everybody's afraid of, like Rengar, invade him. He doesn't have recovery. Just go in, bash his brains out, and then he's not going to contribute. On the other hand, if you're the Rengar, you have to be super extra freaking careful not to die. And in lower levels, lower divisions, it is far, far better to start off with a yellow trinket than a red one. You saw that he had a red trinket, and he used it on my on the bush when I invaded, and it didn't do anything for him. By the way, this is a rewind because God knows what the Vayne was thinking. She went around this wall and like level 6, and like what the hell? She couldn't kill anybody. Even if the enemy team collapsed on us, she would be, you know, jumped on and killed immediately before she got to contribute. So God knows what that was for. But anyways, as I was saying, if you start off with a red trinket, yeah, you can clear a ward, but that doesn't mean it's like, you know, you can keep track of the enemy jungler or that's going to help clear. A yellow trinket early on will keep you safe. So one thing you can do is get a yellow one, put down the ward, and then when the first time you go back, you can sell it and then get the red one and, you know, be okay and be safe and stuff. Hell, you could even just put the ward down like at level 1 and then go home, get the red trinket, and then have the scanner have the scanner for the when you go to the red buff again. But either way, it's just in lower divisions, vision is really strong, though nobody wards because again it's lower division. So and invasions tend to be like pretty much haphazard and dumb and blind. So if you start off with yellow trinket, plop it somewhere and it'll protect you. You can see, thanks to the yellow trinket and the several wars I bought after that, I've been able to invade the enemy Rengar quite severely and take him out. I've been able to keep track of everybody I've been wanting to kill and using it a little bit to pull out myself with my shield. It's just the main lesson to take from this is if you want to win the jungle game, just invade the weak ass junglers, counter gank them, take their buffs. That's basic, right? But that is one way you can guarantee a victory in lower divisions because look, the Zed, I don't know if they were great laners or not, or if me not interfering with them or killing them would have, you know, made a difference. But let's say I never ganked my teammates, but I always kept the enemy jungler down. If your teammates are even slightly better than the enemy team, and they can't get an assist, and you're making sure the enemy jungler can't assist them, then that's one good ass way to win. That's how I've won a lot of low level games. I play someone like, well, again, Lee Sin, and just hound the enemy champion. There's, I think, Elo Lee Sin too, where the enemy team had Master Yi, and I just hounded him all game, and the enemy and he couldn't do anything or farm, and he became dead weight. By the way, this was really terrible fight for my team because we stuck around with no resources, aka no mana or health, and we pretty much got killed. This is how throws in lower divisions happen. We stick around with no resources, we get cocky because we have like 20-something kills. So it pretty much backfired on us, but there's no way we can lose, you know, if we just, you know, buckle up and stop being dumbasses. Of course, it really does help the Cassiopeia just kind of died right there. There's named Captain Gangplank, which is kind of funny. We catch the Vayne, and with her death, it's pretty much just going to be a steamroll from then on. We catch ourselves a Rengu, he gets himself killed, and the game is pretty much over from there. Here, the enemy team is going to surrender. So, the message is clear here. Just knowing how to play the game can make up for a lot of, like, the lack of mechanics. I'm not the best Lee Sin player, but I was able to win thanks to my game knowledge and knowing what to do and when to do it and how to do it. Hooray for game knowledge!